morning. Thanks for joining us for Local 3 News. I'm Brianna MacLean. It's legal in Michigan, but one congresswoman is introducing the State's Reform Act intended to legalize marijuana at the federal level. Rashad Hudson tells us from Washington what the proposal entails.
South Carolina Congresswoman Nancy Mace wants to legalize marijuana at the federal level.
We have no federal framework for cannabis being legal in this country. It's sort of insane.
Past efforts have failed in Congress, but Mace says her bill is different because it gives states more control.
We want the federal government to stay out of it as much as possible and really let the states take the lead on what they've already been doing for 25 years.
Her state's Reform Act would not only legalize marijuana, but it would make it taxed like alcohol and tobacco.
I think the bill does the right thing in terms of treating cannabis like alcohol and putting it in the appropriate federal jurisdiction.
Under this legislation, those convicted on nonviolent cannabis charges would also have their records expunged.
It would allow those who are serving today that are strictly cannabis in federal prison for that they would be released.
Gary Hess says legalizing marijuana would help veterans like him suffering from PTSD.
This comes from a personal testament of someone who has struggled himself and has used the natural plant to facilitate recovery, stability, and post-traumatic growth.
While Republican support for legalization is growing, shortly after Mace's press conference, the South Carolina Republican Party issued a statement opposing any effort to legalize marijuana. Reporting in Washington, Rashad Hudson.
With firearm deer season underway in Michigan, the DNR is requesting help from successful hunters. Through November 18th, the Michigan DNR is asking hunters who harvest a deer to bring its full carcass or head to a DNR check station. Stations in the core chronic wasting disease surveillance areas of Delta, Dickinson, and Menominee counties will test for CWD.
New this year is our check station is actually going to be only open the first 4 days of the season. We encourage people after that to use the online registration. We would age your deer and we get a little bit of location data down to about a square mile, and we would enter that into our little tablets, and it helps us with deer regulations and estimating deer populations.
For access to a full list of check stations, check out the full story on upmatters.com. Thanks for joining me this morning. Now for a check on your forecast with meteorologist Tom Kippen.
Thanks a lot, Bree. As we look at what's ahead for today for our Wednesday, we are looking at temperatures today across the UP in the 30s and 40s. Your mildest temperatures today will be in the eastern UP. It does turn chillier, though, late afternoon into the evening hours from west to east. We'll have that wind today, but eventually it becomes a chillier wind, and lake effect snow gets going later today into tonight in the Keweenaw Peninsula. For weather anytime, if you're on the go today, download our free WJMN Local 3 app. Also online at upmatters.com. If social media is your thing, we're there as well at WJMN TV, and while you're on Facebook, check out our 906 Weather Watchers page.